They say that you don't become an artist becomes you. Well, when did artist become me? That's a good question. A question that can only be answered through expository voiceover. See, it started some 20 minutes ago. My body was craving passion, but my tinder was craving someone to match with me. Thus my nuts remained undrained. To get over my urges, I looked at pictures of bugs. Yes, you know the ones. 6 legs, an abdomen, and thorax. Those bugs. Still the lust to bust was not overcome, and my mind came to the realization that there is but one thing grosser than bug. Chlamydia. Looking at pictures of that was still a little bit too gross, so I looked to the cousins of the bug. Arachnids. I've always hated spiders, ever since some spineless invertebrate casted Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man. The sight of spiders makes me feel disgusted, disappointed, and a little bit cheated, just as The Amazing Spider-Man left audiences. I saw horrible things while I was observing the Google images. Spiders crawling in ears, spiders biting the elderly, people covered in the spider goo we call webbing, and yet I was unperturbed. The disgust I felt at these spiders was outweighed by
Get
the
fucked,
joy that none of these
dumbass.
spider-related incidents was
Next time
occurring
don't
to me.
invest in hillside
Us
property,
Germans
you
are
dumb
strange as
fuck.
such. Then it came to me, a story that touched my heart. A young spider of 20 days who had lost his job in the fly mill, and was soon afflicted by a
It's
grief
so
all too common
sad.
to the unemployed spider. His wife left him, taking their 100 spiderlings in the divorce.
My man did
She
nothing wrong,
promptly
man.
ate 3 of them as he watched.
He didn't do
What
nothing.
followed was a story of misery only comparable
Trying to
to the
support a
production
family.
cycle of Suicide Squad. He had no
All
heater,
spiders be
so he
thoughts,
picked up
bro.
a thirst for
Spiders be
Spidercide to
thoughts.
keep him warm. He had no friends, so he watched Busty Tarantula Stepmama 3 starring Spider Perry. He had no web,
Fuck, man.
so he spent his remaining wages on a small cobweb in the outskirts of a small bathroom in a gas station. I wish that I came across this tale in better circumstances, but alas, I read about his descent in the spider obituaries. When the article was finished, so was my sex drive. I came to the realization that such a man-spider must be honored, nay, immortalized. Frank the suicidal single spider father would live through my art. I know. Quite the sad story, isn't it? Tale as old as time. Spider father loses his job, loses his wife, loses his kids, loses everything, and then he takes his own life. Well, I'm of the firm belief that the only way to truly honor a suicide victim is to make a picture of them. Hi, my name is Will Fahey. Well, welcome to the program. Today, we're gonna be painting a portrait of Frank the Spider, the man who was taken from us by himself too soon. Now, let's begin. Now, today's piece, let's call it that, is gonna be low budget. And the reason it's gonna be low budget isn't because I'm broke. It's because, you see, Frank was a bum before he died, so I think that we're gonna be honoring him a lot more with humbler ways of art. So all we're gonna need today is this black Sharpie and this red one, because sometimes I like to sprinkle a little red in there, because that makes a cool little theme, you know? Like the Black Widow. Now that we've got everything settled, I think we can start our painting. Now, first thing we're gonna do is we're not gonna sketch any bullshit, because fuck sketching. That's for artists that can't get it done the first time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at a picture of Frank. I got one right here, and we're just gonna fucking do it. So first thing we want to do is, God, he's ugly as shit. We're gonna want to start with his head, which is kind of like a mushroom shape, I guess, but there's like a little thing in for the teeth. I didn't set this up right. Okay. That's a small head. Okay. So, no, it's not. That'll work. Oh yeah. It looks like a rock from SpongeBob, Patrick Snail that won the race. And I guess that's gonna work out for us, for our purposes. Next thing we want to do is, so the thing about art, right, is that always draw the front layers first. Always do that. Okay, there's another thing, is that we should have finished this a while. That's bad. That's really. Or is it? Because all we have to do is give him a little mustache right here. And now, Frank the Spider became Monsieur the Spider. Because he's a French. The next thing we're going to want to do is the teeth. Now, the teeth are the scariest part of the spider. And this spider is no exception. What you're going to want to do is, it's more like a potato than a carrot. Because if you look at these pictures, the teeth aren't that, like, sharp for some reason, but they hurt like a mother. So if you're following along, at this point, you should have a bit of a jellyfish with two chodes coming out instead of tendrils. And you know what? That's not a bad way to start off. Okay. I feel like he was a redhead, so I'm actually going to add some red to the mustache. And see? Now we're here. So, fuck. Let's start with the eyes now. Because the eyes are the windows to the soul, and we have to remember that his soul was depressed. So we're going to draw really fucked up eye sockets. Like a cheekbone, but for the eyes, in a sense. And we're going to do that for both eyes, because why not? And then after that, you're going to give him a nice line. Two lines, actually, because those are going to form the eyeball after we put the top eye. So, I don't know if you can see that properly. Maybe a close-up will help. But right now, we can really feel the pain of the spider. And that's where we want to be with this. I want to draw some little eye wrinkles in his eye bags. Just so you can tell that he's stressing. That looks good. And I'm actually not satisfied with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some eye crust. Because my man's isn't sleeping that way. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Now, the thing about drawing a depressed person's eyebrows, right, is there will be some hairs in the middle. And will that present a challenge because I made his head too small? Yes. But let's see what we can make happen. Let's just give him really thin eyebrows, like those penciled on ones. You know them. You've seen somebody with them, and they look fucking depressing. Now remember, it's actually encouraged to make his eyebrows as asymmetrical as possible. And now we're going to add that uniform. You know what? He's not redheaded here. I just... Fuck. That was a mistake. Anyways, let's draw some hair now. So, Frank's kind of got a little bit of a Homer Simpson thing going on. So, if you haven't picked it up by now, I haven't really either. I think he's facing this way. Let's hope he's facing that way. And we're gonna so since he's facing this way, we're gonna make this sideburn a little bit smaller. That's a little art trick that you're not gonna get anywhere else. We've got a pretty good thing going on here. I'm not really confident with how this turned out. Maybe I'll touch up on that. Maybe I'll just say fuck it and make it a McDonald's hat. Nah, that's too much work. Okay, let's give him more bristles. Because the thing about spider teeth is that they have hair, actually. I think that what they are is, it's like, you know how snakes, like, they got like that skin over their teeth? I think spiders got that, but This looks like. So, right now, we've already got a really defined face, right? This is Frank the Spider. You can tell. Okay, I didn't actually do anything for his eyes. Let's do He's actually got 6 more eyes that we didn't account for. So the thing about these 6 eyes is that we have to make all of them equally in me. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to start working on the rest of him. So let's start with finishing the spider face. So the spider face, I think it actually, this is just like, god damn it. This is just my idea, right? Okay. So he fucked up quite a bit at So he's got an arch in the back. That's essential for a man of his mental stability. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. So, I fucked up here, right? This is where the mistake is. And also here. So we're gonna start his t-shirt here. We're gonna draw a line there. Yeah, I fucked myself because he's got. You know what? He doesn't. We're gonna draw his arms now just so that we don't shoot ourselves in the dick later. So all you have to do for this is just give him little small, puny, like little fiend hands. 3 fingers is fine. You might want to make the little one a little longer. Draw the second arm coming straight out of the teeth. He's got sort of a this going. Okay, now he's at the time of his death, if I remember correctly, he was in the job search. So we're gonna draw a nice little suit and tie for him, just so it's also a way to honor him in a sense, to draw him looking his most down. Start the tie right there. Head looks like a goatee. Feels. I'm actually, I'm actually doing this. Actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so this is our progress right now. We're really top dominant right now, but I don't really know how to draw legs, so we're probably gonna stay top dominant for the rest of the artwork. Actually, give him a little button right there. You know why we give him a button? Because he's cute as a button. And that's how we want to remember. God, or let's give him a red suit. How about that? Okay, we did it. We're good. We actually. It's a little scribbled in because the Sharpie fumes kind of fucked with me, and I didn't want to waste that much Sharpie. So I just settled for a little bit of white. It kind of makes him look shiny, I guess you could say, or unfinished. Another issue is that spiders have 8 arms and legs. So how we're gonna solve this is we're gonna give him 6. It might serve you well to make the middle fingers longer than the other fingers. So just sort of ah that sort of this. What a strapping young man this was. Well, now we can give him a lower half later. There's gonna be like a final touch up, I think. I think I should do that. Yeah, that'll make sense. This will be polka dot, cause that'll be. I fucked up. Okay, that's open already. The thing about his lower half of his body is that my boy is thick as a brick. Yeah. Okay, and his dick's is. That looks like a fucking vagina. That's supposed to. Oh no. This is supposed to be his fly. Mmm. Mmm. Okay, he's wearing shorts. And he's got one leg that's You just got one. It's lopsided pants. Now. Right now, what we have is we have a spider, a man spider, who's sad in the eyes, sad in the posture, sad with the hands, but he's not sad in the environment. We have to sell what made him go where he went. First thing we're gonna do, draw some spider. And that bottle looks, uh, that looks like a pear. Nope, we're gonna make this a cell phone. Not like a good, like the old cell phones with the thing on top. And it'll say something like, "I'm leaving. I left you. I left." Okay, now let's get that spider side. What is a bottle? He'll just hold it with his middle finger. God, am I really that bottle? And it's got a little bit of a thing, the logo thing, right? And he also did a fair bit of coke. Just on. Okay, first thing we gotta do is we gotta establish that this is a room, and we have to establish that he's standing in the corner of it. Because he's a low dominance male. Those beta males, they'll get. It's not. It's an acute angle of a room. Ah. But for our purposes and for his purposes, hey, where does the cocaine go? We're just gonna put it on the floor, honestly. I mean, there comes a point where if there's cocaine on the floor and you drop it, you're gonna that's a line right there. That's a line. He's got. And I know what you're thinking, Will. It's done. It's a masterpiece. It's your Picasso, your Van Gogh. Well, I would tell you to Van Gogh. We need a disco ball, but not like your regular disco ball. I'm talking about a disco ball with a noose hanging from it. Now I get to what you're saying, right? Will, nooses are not funny. And under normal circumstances, I agree. They're really. But if you have a disco ball with a noose, then it just adds a whole layer of fun to the equation. See, the disco ball is what makes it a party. Oh, my parents are gonna think I'm fucking depressed when they see this. And we'll have a nice little knot there. Doop doop. And voila. Now we just need to do some touching up and we'll be good. We'll be good to. We did it. We really did it. We got everything touched up. He's looking just fine, just dandy. And we're gonna put him right here under Danny DeVito. And that is how to draw one hell of a suicidal spider dad. There's gonna be more art soon. There's gonna be a lot of art.